The mysteries of human memory and consciousness have long been among the most captivating and enigmatic topics in the scientific community. In January 2018, two groundbreaking papers published in the prestigious journal Cell introduced a shocking new perspective to this field. Human memory might be intimately connected to viruses. This discovery not only has the potential to help us unravel the essence of memory, but could also shed light on the origins of human self-awareness. Let's embark on an exploration of this revolutionary theory and see how it challenges our traditional understanding of evolution and consciousness. The moment this concept was introduced, it sent shockwaves through the scientific world. A renowned American science popularization website swiftly published an article interpreting the findings. With a headline that cut straight to the core, "Human consciousness may originate from an ancient virus." This bold hypothesis not only captured public attention, but also posed a formidable challenge to Darwin's theory of evolution. For generations, Darwin's theory of evolution has been the cornerstone of our understanding of life's development. It posits that evolution is a lengthy, purposeless process that gradually shapes the characteristics of organisms through random mutations and natural selection. However, the concept of viral infection brings a fresh perspective to this theory. Viral infection is a process that occurs almost instantaneously, suggesting it could be a powerful tool for accelerating human evolution. Imagine if viruses were indeed a key to our genetic locks, potentially unlocking unexpected abilities at any moment. This idea is both exhilarating and unsettling. It implies that our evolution might not be solely a slow process of natural selection, but could potentially undergo sudden, dramatic changes at crucial junctures. But how plausible is this theory? Can it truly explain our complex systems of memory and consciousness? Let's delve deeper into the key findings of the Cell papers. The experimental results reported in the Cell papers were nothing short of astonishing. Researchers discovered that long-term memory in mice depends on a gene called ARKI. The significance of this finding cannot be overstated. Mice lacking the ARK gene were unable to form long-term memories, suggesting that their self-awareness might be significantly diminished. The existence and function of the ARKI gene are sufficient to rewrite our understanding of biology. Let's envision how the human brain operates. Our brain consists of billions of neurons, with these cells constantly transmitting various substances between synapses. This transmission is ceaseless, whether we're awake or asleep. It's precisely this exchange of substances that gives rise to our thoughts, consciousness, and even our dreams. Traditionally, it was believed that neurons primarily transmitted chemical substances, such as dopamine, along with some electrical signals. But now we've discovered that neurons are also transmitting genes, genetic material. This revelation has fundamentally altered our understanding of how the brain functions. What makes the ARC gene particularly special is that its structure and behavior are strikingly similar to those of viruses. It encapsulates a segment of genetic material within a protein shell and continuously transmits this package between different neurons through synapses. This behavioral pattern is so reminiscent of viruses that many scholars directly refer to ARC as the ARC virus. This discovery raises a disturbing yet fascinating question. Could our consciousness have originated from an infection by some ancient virus? If so, we might need to radically reassess our understanding of ourselves. This idea not only challenges our perception of human nature, but also provides a completely new perspective for contemplating the origins of consciousness. Before we delve deeper into this possibility, we need to first understand the nature of viruses and how they differ from other microorganisms we're familiar with. This understanding will help us better grasp the potential role of the ARC gene and how it might influence our memory and consciousness. Before we delve deeper into this possibility, we need to first understand the nature of viruses and how they differ from other microorganisms we're familiar with. This understanding will help us. The fundamental nature of viruses is distinctly different from bacteria, a crucial point in understanding the role of the ARC gene. Bacteria are microorganisms that can live parasitically in the human body. Some bacteria, like certain lactic acid bacteria, are beneficial to our health and are known as probiotics. They can aid in digestion and maintain gut health. Other bacteria cause diseases and are called pathogens. However, most bacteria are neutral, neither obviously beneficial nor harmful. Recent scientific research suggests that these neutral bacteria might play a significant role in determining our personality. This is why some refer to the gastrointestinal tract as the second brain. For instance, studies have found that long-term vegetarians tend to have gut bacteria colonies adapted to plant-based diets. These bacteria, in turn, influence the host's taste preferences, making them more inclined to eat vegetarian foods. Conversely, meat lovers have different bacterial colonies. This might explain why people who enjoy meat often give a more robust impression. Even personality changes in some people around the age of 50 might be related to shifts in their gut bacterial communities. Bacteria are conscious organisms aiming to coexist with their host. Viruses, although not considered living organisms, seem to possess a kind of consciousness as well. However, the consciousness of viruses is markedly different from that of bacteria, and their ambitions appear to be much grander. The ambition of viruses is manifested in their desire to do more than just temporarily reside in the host's body. They aim to permanently integrate their genetic material into the host's genome, thereby influencing the evolution of entire species. This notion is shocking because it suggests that viruses might play a crucial role in shaping our species' characteristics. Many viruses, once they infect a host, have the potential to insert their genetic sequences into the host's genome. If bacteria can be considered individual parasites, affecting the host for a lifetime or a few years, then viruses parasitize the host's genes, not only altering the current generation, but potentially affecting future generations as well. The far-reaching nature of this influence is astounding. In this context, the discovery of the ARC gene becomes particularly significant. Research indicates that the ARC gene is likely a virus that infected our human ancestors in ancient times. This virus entered our brains, settled in neuronal cells, and eventually formed a permanent symbiotic relationship with us. Even more astonishing is the possibility that this virus might have given rise to our consciousness. But this discovery raises a larger question. If our consciousness truly originates from a virus, what does this mean for our understanding of human nature? Does this imply that our thoughts, emotions, and even our pride and creativity might all be products of viral infection? This idea is both unsettling and captivating. The ARC gene remains highly active in our brains, maintaining virus-like characteristics in its behavior. It packages gene-containing material into virus-like capsules and continuously transmits them between neurons. These genes, spread to various neurons, are believed to be crucial genetic codes controlling neural network communication and reorganization. Scientists' discoveries are even more shocking. If the ARC gene is not expressed in a neuron, that neuron immediately stops working and dies. This implies that the ARC gene is vital for the normal functioning of our brains. This finding compels us to consider, could humans be the species most deeply infected by this virus in ancient times? Does this explain why we possess such powerful self-awareness and our astonishing achievements in technology, economics, culture, and other fields? The idea of viruses controlling genes in humans might sound alarming, but it's not new in genetics. In fact, about 5% of the human genome directly comes from viruses, and 40% to 80% of genes are related to ancient viral invasions. This significant percentage is enough to make us reconsider the role of viruses in human evolution. If we continue reasoning along this line of thought, we find that Darwin's theory of evolution faces an unprecedented challenge. The classic model of purposeless evolution through neutral mutations and natural selection, as proposed by Darwin, might only account for a small part of the evolutionary process. Instead, a larger part might come from viruses directly intervening in human genes, potentially in a purposeful and instantaneous manner. This perspective raises an even more profound question. Is there an invisible cosmic consciousness controlling these genetic switches, thereby controlling human evolution? This idea is both exciting and unsettling. It suggests that one day, this consciousness might suddenly grant humans new abilities, or disable existing functions, and we might be powerless to resist. But how credible is this theory? Can it explain all the puzzles in human evolution? Let's continue to delve deeper and see how this theory might explain the issue of human lifespan, and whether it could provide clues for achieving immortality. Why do humans die? From a cellular perspective, this is related to the so-called Hayflick limit. The Hayflick limit refers to the maximum number of times normal human cells can divide before they stop dividing. Once cells break through this limit, they face two possible outcomes: either the unlimited proliferation of cancer cells, leading to a painful death, or the cells achieve immortality, constantly renewing themselves, keeping the organism eternally youthful and ageless. This concept leads us to a legendary story dating back to 1951. Before then, scientists had spent 20 years successfully cultivating frog cells that broke through the Hayflick limit, but they had been unable to cultivate similar human cells. However, in January 1951, a woman named Gila died of cervical cancer. Her attending physician extracted her cervical cancer cells and gave them to Dr. Gay, who was studying the Hayflick limit at the time. Initially, Dr. Gay didn't pay special attention to this sample, but a few months later, when he checked again, he discovered a shocking fact. These cells had broken through the Hayflick limit and were proliferating infinitely, doubling in number every 24 hours. These became the famous HeLa cells. The discovery of HeLa cells completely transformed the landscape of biological and medical research. Today, these cells are continuously reproduced and cultivated by biological institutions and medical units worldwide, primarily used for various biological and medical studies. From these studies, scientists have developed many effective drugs. It's estimated that by now, over 50 million tons of HeLa cells may have been cultivated worldwide, equivalent to the weight of 800 million adults. This number is staggering, but considering that these cells double every 24 hours, it becomes more comprehensible. Research on HeLa cells has not only led to numerous medical breakthroughs, but also earned the scientific community 5 Nobel Prizes. One of these Nobel Prizes was awarded for explaining why HeLa cells could break through the Hayflick limit and achieve immortality. Research found that this was because these cells were infected with a virus called HPV. When the genes of this virus are expressed in cells, they can instantly turn on the longevity gene switch in the cells. This switch is called telomere, a small structure at the end of chromosomes. Under normal circumstances, telomeres shorten a bit each time a cell divides, like chalk gradually being consumed. When the telomere completely disappears, the cell stops dividing. Human cells can divide about 50 times on average. However, in cells infected with HPV and expressing related genes, the telomeres seem to never disappear, allowing the cells to divide indefinitely. The story of HeLa cells provides us with an astounding revelation. Viruses might be one of the key factors controlling our lifespan. This discovery leads us to ponder, has cosmic consciousness left some kind of switch and key in our genes? Have we simply not found the correct method to use this key and unlock this genetic lock? This idea is both exciting and frightening. It suggests that we might have the potential to achieve a lifespan far beyond our current one, or even immortality. At the same time, it reminds us that our understanding of ourselves is still far from complete. Our lives might be controlled by forces we don't yet fully comprehend. However, this doesn't mean we should feel pessimistic. Even calculating based on the Hayflick limit of 50 cell divisions, the normal human lifespan should theoretically be over 120 years. This means there's still significant room for improvement in our lifespan. We just need to find the right methods to activate and utilize this potential within us. But the influence of viruses extends far beyond this. In fact, many organisms on Earth might be products of viral selection. This view pushes our understanding of the origin and evolution of life to a whole new level. When discussing the impact of viruses on biological evolution, we must mention a magical element called transposons. Transposons are like scissors in the genome. They can move a segment of genes from one location to another at will, controlling gene expression, much like using computer shortcuts Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. This amazing discovery is credited to geneticist Barbara McClintock. She discovered the existence of transposons while studying why corn exhibits such a wide variety of colors. It turns out that these rich and varied colors of corn are caused by gene switches controlled by these transposons. Transposons are like the scissors of cosmic consciousness, controlling some switches in our genes. But where does this mysterious element come from? And who does it obey? These questions still don't have clear answers. However, scientists have proposed a cutting-edge hypothesis. Transposons might originate from ancient viral invasions, just like the ARC gene, only much older. The basis for this hypothesis is that scientists have found that the genetic sequence and expression of transposons are almost identical to the structure of a type of virus called a retrovirus. In other words, transposons might be a type of retrovirus residing in our bodies. Speaking of retroviruses, we must mention a familiar example, HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. AIDS is caused by this type of retrovirus. And there's an even more astonishing story about HIV, closely related to the cryo-electron microscopy technology invented by the 2017 Nobel Prize winners. Cryo-electron microscopy is a supermicroscope technology that allows scientists to directly observe protein structures. It was the invention of this technology that brought us those astonishing discoveries mentioned earlier. In 2018, when a group of scientists used this technology to observe ARC proteins in human neurons, they were surprised to find that the structure of this protein was strikingly similar to that of the HIV virus. This discovery immediately sparked in-depth research by scientists, and the results were even more shocking. First, the shell structure of the ARC protein is almost identical to that of the HIV virus, strongly suggesting they might have a common origin. Second, further research found that the way ARC proteins spread genetic material between our brain neurons is identical to how viruses spread. Even more surprisingly, these transmitted genetic materials seem to be closely related to our self-awareness. These discoveries led to an unsettling yet fascinating hypothesis. Our self-awareness might originate from an ancient HIV-like virus. According to this hypothesis, in the distant past, this virus infected our ancestors, entered their brains, and helped open the genetic switch for self-awareness in neurons. If this hypothesis holds true, it would fundamentally change our understanding of human origins. It suggests that, at a biological level, this process might have manifested as a large number of primitive humans turning into zombies. These zombies, awakened to self-awareness, might have been more powerful than ordinary humans, potentially leading to the extinction of ordinary humans. This hypothesis further speculates that these zombies, who awakened to self-awareness, eventually became what we know as humans. They began to refer to themselves as we because they gained consciousness. If this hypothesis is correct, then this is the true origin story of our human species. This theory is undoubtedly astonishing, challenging all our traditional understandings of human nature, consciousness, and evolution. It presents a disturbing possibility. The consciousness we pride ourselves on might actually be the result of a viral infection. This idea not only overturns our perception of ourselves, but also provides a completely new perspective for contemplating the essence of life and the mysteries of the universe. However, despite how exciting this theory sounds, we still need to maintain caution and critical thinking. Science is built on rigorous experiments and repeated verification. Any new theory, no matter how appealing it may seem, needs to undergo long-term research and validation before it can be widely accepted. This theory about viruses, genes, and consciousness, while providing us with a brand new perspective to understand human origin and evolution, is still just a hypothesis. We need more research to verify or refute various aspects of this theory. At the same time, this theory also raises many new questions for us. If our consciousness indeed originates from viruses, how is the consciousness of other animals produced? Why did only humans develop such complex self-awareness? Can we enhance our cognitive abilities or extend our lifespan by manipulating these viral genes? These questions involve not only science, but also ethics, philosophy, sociology, and many other fields. They challenge our understanding of the essence of life and may change the way we view ourselves and the world around us. Whether this theory is ultimately proven or not, it reminds us that the mysteries of the universe and life are far more complex than we imagine. Our understanding of ourselves is still far from sufficient, and we have a long way to go. But it is precisely this unknown that drives us to continue exploring and challenging our cognitive boundaries. In future research, we may be able to reveal more mysteries about consciousness, memory, and human nature. This process might overturn many of our existing cognitions, but it may also bring us infinite possibilities. In any case, the path of scientific exploration is endless, and each of us is a part of this great exploratory journey. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of our existence, we must remain open to new ideas while maintaining a critical and scientific approach. The theory linking viruses to consciousness and memory is a testament to how much we still have to learn about ourselves and the world around us. It challenges us to think beyond our current understanding and to consider possibilities that may seem outlandish at first glance. This journey of discovery reminds us of the importance of interdisciplinary research. The intersection of virology, neuroscience, genetics, and evolutionary biology has led to these groundbreaking hypotheses. It underscores the need for collaboration across scientific fields to tackle complex questions about human nature and consciousness. Moreover, these findings have potential implications far beyond the realm of pure science. If further research supports the link between viruses and consciousness, it could revolutionize our approach to treating neurological disorders, enhancing cognitive abilities, and even extending human lifespan. It might also prompt us to reconsider our relationship with viruses, viewing them not just as pathogens, but as potential catalysts for human evolution. As we stand on the brink of these exciting possibilities, we must also grapple with the ethical implications. If we gain the ability to manipulate the very foundations of our consciousness, what responsibilities come with that power? How might it change our definition of what it means to be human? In conclusion, while the theory linking viruses to human consciousness and memory is still in its infancy, it represents a fascinating frontier in our quest to understand ourselves. It reminds us that in science, as in life, the most profound discoveries often come from unexpected places. As we continue this journey of exploration, we must remain curious, critical, and open to the possibility that the truth about our nature may be more extraordinary than we ever imagined.